and its subsidiary Shiva Cement has over 100 million tons of limestone available. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to announce that we will be commencing our project over there. We will be putting up a 1 million ton clinkerizing unit as well as a 1 million ton grinding unit at Shiva Cement. Work will commence in April of 2020. Plan of becoming a 25 million ton cement company by 2023. The idea is that the Shiva Cement will give us enough clinker and it will give us the clinker security for our grinding units in both Bengal and Odisha. Combined with that, we will be expanding in the west by adding capacity in our Dolvi unit. That will be getting its clinker from our Fujairah unit, which is going to be up and running in the next couple of months. And then we will also be expanding in the south, where our main focus, along with our PSC and Concrete HD and OPC, will be on our GGBS and on increasing our penetration through our GGBS, which is a performance enhancer in all concrete applications. So with that, our ambition is today JSW Cement is the 9th largest cement company in India. And over the next 3 years, we would like to break into the top 5 bracket organically. And the company is also looking at various opportunities in the inorganic space. And that is not currently part of the 25 million ton plan. Any inorganic acquisition would be over and above the stated target of 25 million tons. So with that, I'd like to hand over to our CEO, Nilesh Narwekar, who will speak to you about some of the achievements of JSW Cement.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It basically independently verifies the global warming potential by appointing an independent agency which assesses this. In this case, it was done by ThinkStep, which is a German agency. In terms of some of your additional statistics on this, around all of us know the carbon dioxide that cement industry emits. So in terms of what our Portland slag cement does, it is around 325 kg per ton of cement, as against normally if it's OPC, it's close to 800 tons of CO2 per ton of cement, and as against that, if you look at PPC, it's close to anywhere between 550 and 650 kg of CO2 per ton of cement. So that is one thing which we're very, very proud of, and that's going to be a mainstay. We are responsible, we are conscious, and we believe this is the way forward for us now. I'll hand it over to Swami to speak about what we do.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to talk about, why we are announcing this expansion, and particularly when we are seeing that economic slowdown and there is a slowdown in all the other industries, what we are hearing in the news. If you look into cement industry as such, the growth story is very much intact in the cement industry. We are right now having a capacity as an industry of 496 million tons. As against that, our consumption is 335 million tons, over 72% capacity utilization in the FY19. And if you look into the per capita consumption of the India is around 200 to 250 kilogram per person, as compared to all India or all over the world average of 500 plus. Plus, even if you look into the population, it was around 120 crores in FY12, and it has risen to 135 crores in FY19. If you look into all the other indicators, and even if you look into the last 5 years of growth, cement industry has shown a CAGR growth of 8.2%, and whereas the capacity growth was only 4.5%. And which increases the capacity utilization from 63% to 70% in the last 5 years. And the markets in which we operate, what we observe, that particularly in the east, the growth has been in the last 5 years to the extent of 18 to 20%. There was around 90 million tons of capacity, whereas the demand is 80 million ton already. Although there are a lot of capacity addition, but the demand growth for the housing sector in the east is remarkable as compared to other zones of the country. East has been growing phenomenally in the last 5 years. And in the current year, it is getting muted. We expect the year to end with a muted growth. And we expect that in the next 2 quarters, we are seeing signs of revival in the current quarter. And in the after next 2 quarters, we expect the demand to revive back to 10 to 20% growth in the east. And in the west, if you look into it, we are very strategically positioned in Dolvi. And we have a lot of projects which are coming in Bombay, in Mumbai Airport, Metro Rail, and so on and so forth, which is itself is going to consume around 7.5 million. Take this opportunity for the expanded growth in the western region. Western region as on date is having around 72 million ton of capacity and 63 million tons of demand. Still there is a scope for further growth in the west. So we feel that we are strategically located for the expansion and take the expanded project as an opportunity. In south, although there is a capacity overhang, that is 170 million tons of cement capacity, whereas the demand is only to the extent of 70 million tons. But we are very well positioned to expand our capacity because the OPC, which is the ordinary Portland cement, which is mainly used for the infrastructure, which is the OPC consumption out of 70 million tons is 30 million tons, out of which we are supplying GGBS, which is right now we are consuming around 2.5 million tons in south. We have a big opportunity to grow in GGBS as well as in slag. Slag right now we are having only 3% of the market, where we have an opportunity to the growth. So that is why we are expanding, and all our expansion are going to fructify only in FY20 or FY21 and FY22. So by that time, the demand, we will see that the demand has come back to normal, and we will be in a better position to take the opportunity of the growth in demand in India.
Mentioned we moved to 25 million capacity by 2023. We are existing presently at 14 million. This additional 11 million of capacity growth entails a capex of about 2,900 crores, which would be funded equally by debt and equity, long-term debt and internal accruals. So we are foreseeing a situation where about 1,400 to 1,500 crores of free cash would be available to fund this growth, and about 1,400 of debt we would be acquiring. By FY23, we see a situation of very healthy ratios as far as debt to equity is concerned, less than 1. That would be close to 0.9 or 0.88 to be more precise. Any other numbers I'm happy to share with all of you.
So what are the EBITDA margins right now?
So right now we are almost at about, we would close this year at around 22-23% EBITDA margins. This current year, FY20.
In terms of EBITDA per ton?
Per ton we should be around 900, roughly 900 rupees. Blended EBITDA.
So what happens to the expansion plans that we have first laid out, the 14 to 20 MTPA that we were supposed to hit by 2020? Is that on?
No, for the overall plan of going to 25 million tons entails 2 phases. In the first phase, we want to go to 20, and then we want to get to 25 million. The original plan was to get to 20 million tons by 2020. Because of the current economic slowdown, those plans have been pushed forward by about 12 months. So we expect to be at 20 million tons by 2021 and 25 million by FY23. So end of 2022 calendar is when we plan to be 25 million tons.
Would that also change your IPO plan?
Yes.
You said that you intend to be at 20 MTPA and then
Absolutely.
when can we expect your IPO to come in?
So about 12 months delayed from the original date. So the original date we were hoping to list by December 2020. That would probably get pushed out by 12 months from December 21. Actually the two are very linked. We want to first get to 20 million tons before we do an IPO, because I think that is the critical level at which We have enough scale, we have a de-risked strategy in terms of our raw materials, and also we have market share penetration in all the regions that we play in. So that is why I'm very, very sure that it is only after we achieve 20 million tons, or there is clear visibility of 20 million tons, that we will go in for an IPO.
And about the cost also for 20 million ton, you said 2,000 crore. And now you already have 14 million tons, so this is 11 million ton. For 11 million ton, you are spending 2,900 crore approximately. Has the cost gone up, or what do you do?
No, so the plan of getting to 20 million tons entailed mostly adding grinding units, which is why the investment was far lower than what we have announced today, because we were not very sure of the timing of Shiva Cement. Things have really progressed at a much quicker pace than we had anticipated, and obviously winning this, the mine, the Khatkurwal mine, in the auction has really helped us. So that is why we are announcing a larger investment, because a clinkerizing unit consumes a lot more capital than a grinding unit. So that is why the plans of adding 11 million tons at 2,875 crores, roughly 2,900 crores, has happened. Apart from the clinkerizing unit at Shiva Cement, we are also enhancing our existing clinkerizing unit at Nandyal. We're going to be expanding that from 2.2 million today to 3 million tons. So with 1 million tons at Fujairah, 3 million tons at Nandyal, and 1 million tons at Shiva, 5 million tons of clinker is enough to produce about 15 million tons of slag cement, PSC. And then you have the balance quantities going and being sold as GGBS, which will be about 5 to 6 million tons. So that is how the numbers are stacking up. Apart from this, the other thing which all of you will be very cognizant of is the impending transaction of Bhushan Power and Steel for JSW Steel. That also gives us another 1 million tons of slag security in the east, which will become, once it becomes part of the JSW Group fold, that slag will become captive to JSW Cement. So all these things are a lot of moving pieces, but that's how it's resulted in this announcement today.
So you'll be putting up plant there near Bhushan Power?
Shiva Cement is 80 kilometers from Bhushan Power and Steel.
So what's the capacity now in Shiva Cement?
The current capacity is 0.2 million tons only, but it was the mine that led us to acquire this asset in 2017. And we are proposing to take it to 1 million tons of clinker and 1 million tons of grinding, so that the balanced clinker can go to feed our grinding units in Odisha, as well as Jajpur, Odisha, and Salboni, West Bengal.
So what are the targets for Shiva Cement to take it? Because we've been hearing this for last many months, and maybe a year or so, that it's likely to go to 1 million tons of clinker, 1 million tons of grinding. What are the targets out there with regard to Shiva Cement?
So Shiva Cement is exactly what I just said, 1 million tons of clinker and 1 million tons of grinding, both of which the project phase will commence in April of 2020, and it's a 24-month project.
24-month even for this, okay.
Correct, so that's the
As you say, economic slowdown is going on. So how you are facing the current situation? What are the challenges and process are you facing, and how you are going to solve it in future?
So there has been a significant slowdown in the demand for cement, especially in the south. And I think a huge part of that was due to the torrential rainfall that happened across many states in the south. Over the last, from the month of July all the way till October, the demand scenario was extremely muted. Cash situation in the market, credit crunch was also there. A lot of payments were getting delayed, and in general there was a liquidity crunch in the market. Things have started to pick up. There has been significant improvement in the month of October as well as in November. Things are becoming normal again. But I do think that it will take another 5 months. I think till March we will still see a muted demand situation. Even prices are at rock bottom today. I think prices also will only improve once demand comes back. So I think everyone and all the well-capitalized companies have to tighten their belts and and remain patient because it's a matter of time before the economy rebounds. Government has already taken a slew of measures and the effects of which we are starting to see now. Slag cement will always remain front and center. Yes, when we expand, to northern India after a few years, there are no steel plants. So there we will have to look at alternatives. But in the regions where we operate today, there is enough and plenty of slag available. Whether it's JSW, whether it's our competitors, Tata Steel or anybody, today we are sourcing slag from everywhere. Our unique selling point or our unique point as a cement company is our understanding of slag. And not only blast furnace slag, we understand LD slag, we understand AOD slag, and we are using various different types of slag in our manufacturing process. We are the only cement company in the world that also is part of a group that owns a steel company. So because of this synergy between steel and cement, we are incentivized to understand various types of slag. So for many companies, they only buy blast furnace slag. But we are buying all different types of slag, and due to our R&D and our technology, we are utilizing all of it. So that is what gives us a cost advantage. And which is why slag will remain front and center of our strategy going forward.
So you just broke up the clinker capacity. If you could just do it again, you said Nandyal is going from 2.2 to 3, then Fujairah and...
Fujairah 1 million tons
okay.
and Shiva Cement 1
2
million.
million tons, so 5 million tons of total.
So this is phase 1 of Shiva Cement. In phase 2 of Shiva Cement, we would like to put up a second kiln, which will be a larger kiln, about a 2.2 million ton kiln. So the eventual target of Shiva Cement is to have a 3 million ton clinkerizing unit over there, which will cater to our 9 million tons of grinding capacity that we are putting up in the east. So that, in slag cement, it's about 33% is your clinker factor. So that is how it will get balanced. In the interim, the clinker, whatever shortfall we have in the east, will get met from imports as well as get met from our Fujairah clinkerizing.
Okay, alright, so the plan is in place, but if you could tell us what is the debt number? As you had said, for your expansion, you're going to be taking around 1,400 crores of debt, very, very roughly. What is the current debt in the books? And I think you all were talking about improving the return ratios as well. So if you could tell us what is the current net debt to EBITDA and where is it headed?
So currently our debt at a standalone entity level is about 2,600 crores. And our net debt to EBITDA would be about 3.75 times. End of FY20, we would end at about 3.75 times. And this is at a very elevated level today. Last year, if I were to give you the numbers, we were at a debt of about 2,200 crores with a net debt to EBITDA of almost 5 times. So we are delevering, and it's because we added a lot of capacity in Dolvi, we added Jajpur, we added Salboni. So that phase of getting from 6 million to 14 million tons, we had to lever up. Now we're in the process of delevering. Our peak debt, because we also have repayments coming up over the next 3 years. So our peak debt will be roughly 3,500 crores, and currently we're at around 2,600 crores.
Alright, so what plans with Shiva Cement? I remember you all went ahead, you all did the open offer, you all bought in the open market. What are the plans with regard to that unit? Because things haven't really moved. If you look at many quarters ago, the revenue numbers were not picking up. It was appearing like the unit is virtually shut. Any plans in terms of Shiva Cement? Because we track the listed space, and Shiva Cement is the one that's listed.
In terms of Shiva Cement, I think the existing plant and machinery is limited in both its capacity and its output. Our effort since we acquired it in 2017 was to make sure that we are ready for the announcement that we're making today, because this was a strategic acquisition. If you look at the numbers, validating the acquisition cost that we paid for it makes no sense, because the operations are very, very small in nature. But it was the mine that actually derived the value, and apart from us, there were many other companies that were looking at it. You have to understand the dynamics of the East. In the East, the clinker is either coming from Madhya Pradesh, or it's coming, only one company, which is Dalmia Cement, has limestone mines in Odisha. Everyone else is bringing in the clinker from Madhya Pradesh. The freight from Madhya Pradesh to come to Bengal or to come to Orissa is extremely high.
Yeah.
So that is why when we decided as a company that we would be moving into the east, our strategy was very, very clear that we need to, by hook or by crook, get some limestone reserves in Odisha.
Right.
And at that time, Shiva Cement was the main entity that had mines which we felt could really be used and could really be mined, and we could grow this company. Now, after the work that it's taken about 2.5 years for us to actually get into a position where we can actually commence a project. So it's a very exciting thing. I think we will be investing close to 800 crores in phase 1 into Shiva Cement to put up this 1 million ton clinker unit as well as a 1 million ton grinding unit. And with this investment, I think the company will see a dramatic turnaround in performance. We will have to wait the 2 years from April, so about 2.5 years from today, before those capacities come online. And in the interim, we will do whatever we can to maximize output from the old plant and machinery. But that's not really the focus. The real focus is this project, because this project forms a very key part of the overall growth story of JSW Cement in the east.
Yeah, because a lot of Shiva Cement shareholders, they got into it thinking that this will be a JSW group. I remember you had bought shares in the open market as well. It's done nothing much after that. So, would you like to give some kind of a message to some of those Shiva Cement shareholders that were hoping for things to turn around?
No, I think an 800 crore investment speaks enough of the message.
And that's only in the first phase. We have another 1,000 crore lined up after that.
Have the vendors been finalized for the new plant? You are saying, it's a turnkey project or you will be doing it on your own?
No, we're still working out on all the formalities. We've not awarded the contracts yet, but we're in advanced discussion. The detailed engineering work is being completed, and now we're in advanced discussions with all the vendors, the normal cement vendors like FLS, KHD, ThyssenKrupp, all of them are vying for this project, and we plan on awarding it by February, and April is when we plan on commencing the actual construction. All the environmental approvals are in place, consent to establish is in place, everything is in place. Now it's just a matter of awarding the contracts, and it's also a matter of having the funds available, so doing the financial closure, which is what we're going to be working on between now and February, and then we will commence work on the project. Outer limit is April. We're trying to push it, we're trying to prepone the actual commencement of construction to as soon as possible.
Yeah, so what about the inorganic opportunities? 25 million tons is the
Let me just see if there are any other, and I'll come back to you. If there are any other questions, yeah.
You have 54% in Shiva right now. Do you plan to increase the stake? Who are the other shareholders?
So, no, today we have 54, you're right, the rest is with the general public. No, today we don't have those intentions. Let's see.
How about the utilization level?
At Shiva Cement?
And overall and Shiva?
No, currently we would be closing the year at roughly about 70% capacity utilization, which would be, in the west we would be almost at a 92% rate of capacity utilization. In the east we would be at roughly about 70%, and in the south we would be at around 60%, putting our overall capacity utilization at around 70%. Shiva Cement is very small. Whatever it can make, we are making and selling. So it's currently got a capacity of about 0.2 million. This year it will sell close to 0.13 to 0.15 million ton. And a lot of it is due to the old nature of the equipment.
And do you see space for smaller companies? We are talking about Ultratech with 100 million ton capacity, and rest of them have huge capacity. What role you can play in this kind of market?
I think there's always India is a growing market, and as a company, JSW Cement, from a very small level of 6 million tons, we have reached 14 million tons today, and today we are here announcing that we'll get to 25 million. Yes, nowhere close to the big Ultratechs or Holcim Group or any of them, but I think if you see across the board, there are companies that are expanding. whether it's Shree Cement, whether it's Dalmia Cement, whether it's even Ramco, everyone has set out very aggressive targets for expansion. I think for us, the question that we need to answer is what is going to be our unique selling point? Why will a customer or a consumer want to buy JSW Cement over an Ultratech or over an Ambuja ACC? And I think the answer lies in the fact that we are the greenest cement company in the world, not just in India. We are the greenest cement company in the world. Our understanding of byproducts that come out of the steel making process, like blast furnace slag and all the other types of slag, is probably our understanding is probably the most in the world. There's no cement company in the world that understands slag like we do, and we have our own R&D center in India as well as an R&D center in Germany that is working on utilizing slag in various different ways. Our end goal, and we've also done a joint venture with Wagner's of Australia, is to make earth-friendly concrete, which is a concrete that does not have any clinker in it, zero limestone in it, and it's already we've already been successful in getting a provisional BIS code for this concrete. So that is the future that we are painting. We want to really champion the cause of environmental friendly and sustainable cement. And we are also looking for solutions to get rid of the bags. One of the biggest problems in the cement industry today is the use of these bags, PP bags, which are plastic bags, single-use bags, and it is rampant all across India. And we are trying to work extensively on finding substitutes to this bag because it is not recyclable, nor is it environmental friendly. So a lot of research is going on in that. So I think there is a space for smaller companies. I think at 25 million tons, we would be one of the top 5 cement companies in India. Today also we are the 9th largest. So it's definitely daunting, but everyone has to start somewhere. So this is our start. At a place like BPSL or at a place like Salem or a place like Dolvi, the rates go much higher. So, but they're all governed by arm's length practice because JSW Steel is a listed entity.
So have you put in a bid for Emami Cement?
No, we have not.
No, it didn't hit the match.
It's a complementary, it's a overlapping asset. If you look at Emami, they have a clinkerizing unit in Satna, they have grinding units in Bengal and in Odisha. So it's completely a mirror image of what our ambition is in the east. We already have those grinding units in Bengal and Odisha. The only thing missing is our clinkerizing unit, which is coming up in a strategically much better location in Shiva Cement than Satna. So we looked at it very keenly because obviously it's one of the large assets that is going through the process, but we've decided against bidding for it.
So if you're going inorganic, in which part of the country are you looking at it?
So we would be very keen on anything in central and very keen on anything in the west.
Yeah, firstly, we're very proud to announce that we are we as JSW Cement, Portland Slag Cement, it's the lowest global warming potential, and this has been proven by the EPD certificate, Environmental Product Declaration certificate that we have. I would urge you to have a look at it online and judge for yourself. From a statistical standpoint, for people who are interested in statistics here, it's around 325 kg of CO2 per ton of cement as compared to the other cements which are there in the industry or in the world, which is ranging from 550 kg of CO2 all the way up to 800 kg of CO2. The second part, of course, is about our expansion plans. We're thinking very aggressively to wanting to grow. We currently are at 14 million tons. We want to take it all the way to 25 million tons by 2023. This is broken across multiple zones. So our current capacity in Shiva Cement, which is our primary thrust area, which is going to de-risk our sourcing of clinker or raw material security. We are making a big investment of 800 crores, which is a 1 million ton of clinkerization line and another 1 million ton of grinding unit over there, which fundamentally is going to supply to our clinker requirement in Orissa plant, which is our Orissa grinding unit, and of course our grinding unit in Salboni as well. In addition to that, we are increasing our capacity in Salboni, which is our plant in Bengal. We're doubling it from 2.4 to 4.8. In Jajpur, we are again doubling it from 1.2 now to close to 3 million tons. In the south, in Nandyal, which is an integrated cement plant, we're taking our capacity up from close to 2.3 million ton of clinkerization all the way to 3 million tons. Coming to Vijayanagar, which is again another of our grinding units, which has got 3.2 million ton of grinding capacity there. We're taking it all the way to 6 million tons. And of course, Dolvi, we're taking it all the way from 2.2 to 6 million ton again. Combined, it's going to add up to 25 million ton, which is what we are working on. Our rationale for this, for our growth is very simple. In the West, it's primarily to cater to the huge surge in infrastructure growth which we are expecting. And we position out of Dolvi are right in the center of it to capture this. In the East, while there's been tremendous growth over the last couple of years, this year while the numbers have been a little muted, but we still believe with the growth in infrastructure and the growth in housing, both rural and low-cost housing, this growth will be back to 8 to 10%. And with the industry utilization in the East at around 75% today, we expect with our presence in Midnapur, which is in Bengal, our Salboni plant, we'll be well poised to take this growth, capture this growth wave. Coming to South, yes, there is a capacity overhang. Having said that, over the last couple of years, FY18 and FY19, there has been significantly good growth. This year hasn't been as good, primarily because of course the torrential rains, credit squeeze, change in government in AP. A lot of projects have been stopped, retendered. This has kind of put a hiccup on the, or put a speed break on the breaker on the growth path that we currently have in the south. Overall industry is coping with it, and we believe with our product, which is GGBS, we'll be able to capture this fairly significantly. GGBS as a product goes into infrastructure as a sector. Lastly, just trying to re-emphasize, our biggest foray is, of course, our growth, our expansion plan in Shiva Cement, because that's going to help us secure our clinker, which currently we are dependent on imported clinker, and of course make us more cost efficient and ensure that we're able to manage our overall numbers in a more economical manner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I'm Narinder Singh, I'm the Director of Finance CFO of JSW Cement.
And tell me today's press conference, sir.
Press conference
regarding
projects.
Yeah.
For your projects.
So we are today a 14 million capacity company, a cement company. We intend to move to about 25 million in next 3 years, let's say by FY23. So this would be more organic growth, which is going to happen across the different geographies in the country, primarily east, west and south. And something is happening in Fujairah also. That's more of a clinker unit, 1 million ton clinker unit to feed our grinding units in west and east. This jump from today's 14 million to 25 million, that's an incremental 11 million of capacity growth, would entail an investment of about 2,900 crores spread over the last, over the next 3 years. This entire project cost would be funded by a mix of debt and equity that would be almost 50-50, a 1,450 crore of debt and an equal number of equity. The equity would be more from the internal accruals. We see healthy growth numbers in the EBITDA and the PAT numbers. So about 1,450 is the cash which we feel would be available over the next 3 years, and an incremental debt which would be acquiring about 1,400 crore. But for us, over the next 3 years, we pay off also another 1,400 crores of the previous debt, the old debt. So the debt numbers wouldn't change much. Today, we at a console level would end this year at about 3,100 crores. So we see a situation by FY23 after the addition of this 11 million incremental capacity and the Fujairah capacity. So the growth, the number, debt number would be close to about 3,400, slightly lesser than that. And a debt equity ratio of less than 1, it should be around 0.9. And debt to EBITDA should be about 1.5, 1.6 in FY23. So these are the numbers which we estimate over the next 3 years in FY23.
From
What is
the-
it?
What you got?
Yeah, I'm Swaminathan. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of JSW Cement. Today is a very big occasion for us, and we have announced the capacity to grow from 14 million ton to 25 million tons. If I look into our markets, we are, in the east, in Calcutta, we are launched our products and we are placed in a premium segment, and our product sells at a premium or at par with Holcim and ACC, Ambuja and ACC and Ambuja and Nuvoco. And we have 2.2 million tons of Salboni capacity and 1.2 million tons at Jajpur. Today it makes me very happy because we are in the market. Normally people feel that we don't have clinker. How are you going to sustain it in the long run? By putting up this unit of clinker in Shiva, so our raw material security will be enhanced, and our entire marketing people in the east will be very happy. And overall our dealers, our consumers, they will also can look forward to sustainable presence of JSW in the east. And the east, as you all know, it's growing at the rate of 20% in the last 3 years, and we expect that going forward this growth will be sustained. And coming back to the west also we have positioned ourselves in the premium segment with our CSD brand. And we are, selling around 90,000 tons per month, almost 1 million tons of GGBS in Bombay market. In all the major projects, all the major buildings, our slag has been used in Mumbai. And as I said, there are so many new projects which are coming in. Today we find it short of, supplying to the market demand. And with this, in the coming 2 years, we will be well equipped to supply to all the growth which is coming up in the Mumbai market. In the south, although it is an overhang of capacity, but still we have presence in only 2.5 million ton out of 30 million tons of the OPC market, where we have got a lot of scope. And we are also present very negligibly in terms of our cement. We are only having 3% share. And with this capacity expansion, we will be able to significantly grow in the south market.
Okay.